This show, we're going to take a look at Ole Miss and their huge win against Georgia. Big win for Lane Kiffin, of course. Big win for the program and the people of Oxford. But right here, first thing we're looking at is just the defense. Very dominant day. We'll look at the stats here in just a little bit, but really started with pressure up front. Of course, Georgia would love to lean on the run game, but the run game wasn't there yesterday. Only averaged 1.8 a rush, which is unbelievable. Stat right there for the defensive front for those linebackers, defensive linemen, owning the line of scrimmage. But right here on this one, as you're looking at just the push on this. So right here, the interior lineman, 69 here, he's one-on-one with this 3 technique. He just slants across his face. Everybody else is condensing this. And again, whenever you know this quarterback's not really much of a threat as far as running the football, you can condense this thing and be really aggressive up front. Beats number 69 on the interior, just a little bit of a slant, being strong through contact there and running right into the face of Carson Beck. Anytime you can go right up the middle, that's really uncomfortable for the quarterback. And right there, great play and great individual effort there for Jared Ivey, getting Carson Beck on the ground. Big sack there. This is in the second quarter. That's 1 of 2 Jared Ivey sacks on the night. And, of course, anytime you get a good sack, you can get a nice celebration right there. He's throwing some dice. So right there, not real sure what he's rolling, what he's looking for, but it looks like whatever it is, it hits for him. So we saw a sack. Now we're looking at just a pressure look here. This is on 3rd and 4. And this is probably a really good read here by Carson Beck. But it looks like Ole Miss kind of has schemed up what they're looking for. 1-2 low. And once they bring this outside linebacker, Carson Beck sees that he thinks he's got 3-on-2 here. He flips the bubble out there, but 6, as soon as the ball snapped or right before the ball snapped, he starts working out to the trips. And by the time that ball gets out and gets a completion, he's unblocked inside out. Really aggressive here at the outside linebacker spot. He splits this double team by the receivers. And, of course, corner going to keep outside in, contain. Safety's running down hard there as well. So really well schemed up there for Ole Miss, anticipating that bubble, and 6 getting out there, not allowing him to catch it and then get back vertical here. If he would have stayed in the box, getting into the rush or to stop the run, they would have had a little bit more space and would have one-on-one the safety, but instead turns it back. But again, great effort here. Individual effort there by guys just making plays on the defense. This is John Saunders, and he makes a huge play, run through a block on a 3rd and 3 right there in the second quarter, making a big stop there for Ole Miss. Of course, anytime when you're getting one-on-one pass rush, and that's what they have right here, just a 4-man rush. This is our guy Princely right here, number 1. Speed rush on one of the better tackles in the country. He just gets skinny, runs through that arm, gets his shoulders turned, and then right there just stalking Carson Beck, just going to find a way, run him down. No chance for Carson Beck, of course, not the most fleet-of-foot guy, so they really get after him pretty well, know where he's going to be in the pocket. Condensing it right here. Not a huge dude, but Centarian Perkins, he does a great job of condensing this. He puts hands on him, but he's just pushing that back into Carson Beck, not giving him anywhere to step up. And then right there, Princely just runs him down, keeping Georgia off the scoreboard here late in the second quarter. We've seen a lot of sacks, negative plays, and of course in the second half, when it rains, it pours, and of course it was raining the whole time, but they started getting the football out. And right here on this one, just runs to the football, just a quick screen. If you stopped it right here, you'd say, all right, it's still 2-on-2. We're pretty good. But then this D lineman right here, just a great individual effort. Again, it is all night, just the effort from these guys. Made a guy miss. Okay, that's what good players will do. Now we got D lineman right there. Xavier Harris running flat down the line of scrimmage on that screen. Rips the ball out right there before the receiver gets on the ground. And, of course, again, guys running to the football. This guy's running to the football, and he's the one that falls on it. So not just sprinting to the ball, but he's playing, he's aware, gets down, big recovery right there, turnover. Gets a stop right here for Ole Miss, right there on the fringe of the red zone. This on a 2nd and 7. So, again, hey, huge play, stop momentum. Georgia had started to get something going. And anytime they did, Ole Miss defense shut the door on them. And this was a huge play in the game. This is a crazy play in this game. Of course, right after the fireworks show, everybody knows that third quarter, right at the end of the 3rd quarter, there's going to be an unbelievable fireworks show. And I guess for whatever reason, rain kind of held that smoke into the building. But, again, all you're getting is a 4-man rush. Really no twist or anything. You're right here, you're getting a 5-man rush. And you got a 6-man pro here from Georgia. And Ole Miss just condenses this thing. This is just a whole group sack. As you see, we do get beat up here. Tackle gets the shoulders outside. They spin move once he gets even with the quarterback. Great. And then we're going to condense this. There was a bit of a twist. Everybody's just pushing back into the pocket. And they do get Carson Beck on the ground. Ball comes out. All that stuff. Nobody realizes what's happening. This guy's jacked up. He thinks the football's out. And on this, and they end up getting a face mask. So this is a very unfortunate play right here. This is on a 4th down. So this should be a stop for Ole Miss. But instead, it gave Georgia new life. And I know everybody that remembers that Kentucky game, how they converted on that long 4th down, felt in the pit of their stomach, hey, man, something bad is about to happen. But, of course, Ole Miss did a great job of shutting the door on them and not letting that snowball into something worse. Of course, the very next play kind of stopped that momentum. I'm not sure what they're trying to do here as far as protection on one of the better pass rushers. They left the fullback. They tried to slide this tackle to him late. But by that time, he had an angle. As you see, he's basically got a straight line right there to Carson Beck. Gets low. He slips as he's turning the edge, but he's able to get him on the ground just enough. Huge sack right there by Perkins. So, again, huge play there by Perkins. Great athletic play there by those defensive ends trying to close this game. Same drive. Of course, they converted on the last 4th down with a face mask after they'd fumbled the ball. But on this one, they had their corner out. They had Jared Ivey out. And right here they get a tip. They're trying to run a basic there to the middle of the field. Undercut right here by John Saunders, who had a really good game. But, again, they're not able to get to the quarterback on this one. Pretty good pro. Even though, hey, right here, this is a heck of a spin move. They did this tackle quite a bit in this game. Once you get even with the quarterback, boom, you got to get back to him. You don't want to rush past that shoulder. So right there, spins back to him, gets into his throwing lane. You know he's feeling it. I wish he would have tried to return it a little bit more, but intercepts it. Let's go ahead and get down. Let's get the offense to the football, and let's move on. Of course, a great night to rush the quarterback. I mean, if we're going to drop back in the rain this many times, we're just going to get after him. And right here on this one, instead of spinning back once you get even with the quarterback, Princely decides, hey, we're just going to outrun this guy. He gives just a little hesitation, and he outruns him to that upfield shoulder, making Carson Beck either step up or going to get the sack. And this is a great job as well. Instead of just making the sack, you see him chop down at the football with that right arm, trying to get this ball to come out. This is on a 1st down. So let's go ahead and end this game. Let's get a strip sack here. That's what happens on this one. Knocks it out. And, of course, Perkins, again, had a wonderful game. He's all over the field. Both these defensive ends were all over the field. Knocks it out. Perkins falls on it. Big play right there. 3 minutes left in the game. Now we can run the clock a little bit more. Make Georgia use their timeouts. End up kicking a field goal off this one. But just an unbelievable game by the Ole Miss defense. And really just an unbelievable game all the way around. If you're looking at it passing-wise, they averaged 9.4 to the 6.0 for Carson Beck. And that's obviously Austin Simmons and Jackson Dart. We're going to look at both those guys here in just a second. And just the rushing. This was the huge part of it. Georgia averaged less than 2 per rush. Ole Miss 3.7, which is not great. But what it does is it allows Ole Miss to stay on the field and be a little bit more consistent offensively. And really, you look at just the team stats and what stuck out for you. 6 of 14 on 3rd down for Georgia, so a little bit better than what Ole Miss was. 4th down efficiency, Ole Miss 1 for 1, so that was big right there. But total yards, Ole Miss 397, and that's basically because of the passing yardage. Ole Miss averaged Ole Miss had 263, 186 from Georgia, and of course Georgia couldn't run the ball at all, less than 2 yards a carry. Without a dynamic quarterback, they really struggled running the football, and right there, penalties were pretty even. Turnovers, Ole Miss was +2, so I think obviously you look at turnovers, +2 in turnovers. Even though they ran the ball more efficiently, Georgia still had more time of possession. And what we're going to look at now is we're going to look at the passing game, how it was more efficient, some things that Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss were able to find. We're going to look at Austin Simmons. I mean, Austin Simmons coming off the bench in a huge moment right there. He's 5 of 6, 64 yards, led the Rebels down for a touchdown. And also, just looking at the run game, I think having Jackson Dart and his legs was the difference in this game, allowing Ole Miss to run the football, whether it was through a scramble or whether it was straight downhill runs with the running backs. Ole Miss had a much more efficient run game, and I think that's what won the day, along with those turnovers, and was a huge win for the Rebels. Now we're going to look at some of the ways that Ole Miss was able to create some mismatches and create some space in the passing game. And right on this one, you got a 2-receiver set here to the field, and they motion in from the outside receiver spot. So when you motion him in, these guys have to communicate a little bit. He ends up running, I don't know if it's a go, maybe a post, take post. And then you got this guy, he runs a corner, banana route, something right there to get to that flood. And on this one, as you see, it's a 7-man pro. Obviously, Georgia's D, they're going to get after the quarterback a little bit. So it's really just a 2-on-2 route, probably a single here if it goes to a 1-high look. But on this one, they say a 2-high look. You see he's running, he's going to that post to the corner, and then he goes to the flat route right there in the intermediate. And this linebacker, he puts hands on. Instead of dropping and guarding him, he just gets his eyes around to the quarterback and falls to the flats. And by that point, damage is done. There's that corner route. As you see right there, there's the post. That post took that corner, took that safety. Tons of space right there. This outside linebacker, instead of dropping underneath that or trying to make that a tighter window, he just sits in the flats looking for whatever because he doesn't have his eyes anywhere else. Easy throw and catch right there. Good concept understanding what that linebacker is going to do against when he's in zone coverage, and he's not going to carry that guy. He's just going to sit in the flat, so they will take advantage of that. Take 2 for 1 on the post, corner and safety roll with it. Easy throw right there on the intermediate route on that out of the corner. This is a great look right here of just playing some poise. And, of course, right here, senior quarterback, really good football player. He's seen a lot of defenses and backed up right here on the 1 yard line. And want to get the ball out quick. This is on 3rd and 10, so you don't want to hold it for very long. Don't have a chance for a hold. Don't have a chance to get a sack. Let's go ahead and get the ball out. Worst case scenario, we're going to punt right here. So they end up running just a fade. I think you got an off corner playing man. He runs a slant here. So that just opens it up right there, playing off man-to-man. Press there at the slot. Easy throw and catch right here. Of course, this is Jordan Watkins. The guy had 5 touchdowns last week. So I want to go ahead and guard that guy. But instead of throwing a slant to him, there's the off corner. No chance right there. Of course, they got guys in the box trying to get a safety. I understand that. Easy completion. Explosive play right there on basically a slot fade with a slant. Replacing it. Easy throw and catch. Big first down right there after you're backed up there in the yellow zone. This is a concept that Ole Miss hit a couple times. And right here on this one, as you see, Georgia's getting some sort of a zone blitz. Bringing both these outside linebackers here and the interior linebacker. The only guy that was left in the box, he turns and he runs. He leaves the box. And that was advantageous for Ole Miss right here on this one. It's on a 2nd and 3. Looks like verticals. Then just the Texas route, he's getting out and he's going right back to the middle of the field. Nobody left after they vacate. Easy throw and catch. I mean, of course, this is at the end of the first quarter. Ulysses Bentley, easy ball right there. He's on the safety. No chance for a safety right there on the running back. But, again, you can see that they caught Georgia in this blitz. This backer, he's hot too, whatever you'd say right there, not letting them throw that slant. And instead, they just throw it to the back right there, let him free release. Easy throw and catch. Turns to a big play right there, catching Georgia's defense in a blitz. And, of course, as soon as you catch Georgia's defense in a blitz, whatever's going on, I mean, it's still Mississippi. There's going to be squirrels running all over the field. They had to stall this game just a little bit, squirrel on the loose. You don't want a squirrel on the loose, especially when they're gray squirrels. It looks like a gray squirrel to me. One of the meaner squirrels out there. Don't have to call the PETA people yet. No guy from Mississippi just grabbed that squirrel, ate it or anything. I think he actually ran off, probably hide under the bleachers or something, eating some popcorn this morning. Here's a look right here of a really good concept on this one. We actually do throw an interception and a little bit of pressure up the middle. But again, hey, great call. Of course, when you play Georgia, their front's going to get after you right here, and interior line gets hand on the football or on the arm as Jackson Dart's trying to throw it. So the pressure hits home. Guard gets ran through a little bit. But again, hey, this concept was good. He runs right here. He sits. They run a basic or a curl here. Safety's playing off. Corner's low. So really, you run this. If he drops underneath this basic, you throw it to him right now. The outside leverage corner is really not guarding that at all. He's thinking that this guy may go to the corner, so he's giving ground. Safety's way over the top, so he tries to throw this base. This is on 3rd and 15, and of course this is a little bit short of the sticks, but if you can drill this to him, put it on his body, maybe he can find a way to get that first down. Hit his arm, high ball, down, hurting, and we'll see Austin Simmons. We're going to look at his drive next after we look at a couple more passing concepts, but there's a big story in this game, especially early. They look like Jackson Dart was going to be out, and how that backup quarterback is going to play. Right here, looking at this look from the end zone, you can really see, hey, he's reading this cat right here. No, the safety's playing off. There's the window. If you don't get that interior pressure, really easy read. If he would have kept dropping, I'm going to throw the ball right here underneath, see if we can get that first down. But instead, he drives it. Great. Middle field is open. Just too much pressure. High ball. Easy interception there for Georgia. Before we look at Austin Simmons, now we're going to look at a couple of these concepts that they continue to run. But right here on this one, this is a great look. You got tight end and fullback. You're in an empty set. Motion him across. Trying to get these guys rolling that way. He works across on a crossing route by the tight end. Vertical on the outside. So fake, you slide a little bit. Looks like he looks at the safety, sees a too high look. Sees that it looks like they're rolling to a one high look. He's staying there. He's pretty flat. So you want to get over to this side. Looks like they're running maybe a bang aid or a post. And he's replacing right there on that crosser. Goes into that open void. A little bit of high ball again right here for Jackson Dart, but tight end comes down with it. A catchable enough ball, creating an explosive play right there on that misdirection. If you like those jet sweeps and stuff, this could be an easy way. Pulled a guard here for protection. Everybody else is sliding. The back's getting out there to lead on the edge. So taking a lot of bodies wide, and then you throw that crosser back to the tight end across the field for an easy completion. Right on this one, I think is a pretty good man beater. Just getting a rub going vertical here. He works across the field right here, probably some sort of vertical. Ends up staying a too high look. One-on-one, so we're not going to throw that because the safety could make a play on it, so we got to get off of it. Now you're finding your crosser here coming from the outside receiver. Again, middle of the field, these guys do really get hard, really stay low on these guys, and they're staying low because this tight end is check releasing, this back is chipping, and he's releasing as well. So really there's a ton of space there in the middle field, and Jackson Dart throws them open, running away from the corner. I mean, easy throw and catch on that crosser. There's no help in the middle of the field other than those deep safeties and these guys stepping up on these backs that are releasing after they chip. Anytime you can chip release and those guys stay low, that opens up that middle window, and that's what they have right there. Corner can't keep up. Really big game from Caden Lee. Let him in receiving yards. It had some really big plays, but right there, worked across the field against that corner. Easy throw and catch. Explosive play there for Caden Lee. After looking at some of the passing concepts, now we're just going to look at Austin Simmons and his drive, which is very clutch. Georgia's already up 7-0. Everybody is basically holding their breath. This is in the first quarter still, and Jackson Dart just left with an ankle injury. But right here on this one, 1st and 10 on their own 36, motion a guy out. Just getting to a 6-man pro right here. Play action, and they're just throwing hitches. And on this one, Georgia got their hands up all night and tipped the ball, even when Jackson Dart was in there. But right here, lefty, this thing gets tipped. He's trying to throw it to the outside. They did throw this later in the game and get an easy completion for a first down. But right here on this one, the ball gets tipped, ricocheted, and just luck of Ole Miss this day, ran it. Instead of bouncing to the defense, bounces right to the tight end, Daquan Wright. And, I mean, they do get lucky. Obviously, they do have a guy wide open, 2-on-1 right there on number 8 for Austin Simmons early in this drive. This is really the first play that kind of got him going. 1st and 10, and they know, hey, we got a lefty, we're in bunch, and we're just going to run a little bit of play action. So play fake, like they're running outside zone here. You got a comeback. He's working across to the flats. You got these guys working across the field here as well. He's going wide, trying to take somebody with him. But really the progression, once we play fake, we're looking 1 on this comeback, and it's there. Pretty decent protection. You got a naked, so you got a guy slice containing here, and that's what this outside linebacker is doing. Inside linebacker is doing. He slice contain, trying to get the quarterback to pull up. We got that comeback here by the outside receiver open. So let's go ahead and rip this thing to him. Great poise, great strong throw. Good throw and catch. And, of course, Juice made a heck of a play. I mean, this wasn't just the most accurate ball. Obviously, probably a little nervous right there going against one of the better defenses in the country. Makes a huge play there for his quarterback. And, of course, if you wouldn't have liked it, there's the second option. He's covered up. Now there's number 3. Got Daquan Wright working across the field right there. But first option is there. Great throw. Decent throw and a great catch. Really bails him out right there to start off this drive for Austin Simmons. I thought this was a great call, great play here for Ole Miss against Georgia. And, of course, Austin Simmons in the quarterback again, working across. And he's running an option route. So he knows once he goes across, it's man-to-man. This is on a 4th and 1, so huge play here. And once he crosses, now, hey, one-on-one with the safety that has to roll down. If he's got the middle of the field, we're going to take it. Slant till you can't. Right there, he slants. Easy throw and catch. Again, Caden Lee had a huge night. And, of course, brought him out of the backfield. So, great design here. Motion him out just a little bit. Cross. Option route against this man-to-man. Boom, sticks. Slant till you can't. He can slant, so he gets across his face. Everybody else, hey, we're running off. He's running across here for whatever reason. Not sure what they're doing there. But great job breaking across his face. Easy throw and catch to the middle of the field. Tons of space. Pretty good pro there as well. Not just a ton of pressure. You know this is going to happen pretty quick. Georgia bringing a 5-man pressure. And Ole Miss, they can even check, release that back to open up this window a little bit more for the quarterback. Love the call, love the design. This is a heck of a throw right here. It looks like he goes vertical and he just sits, and they're sitting here. I'm not sure if this is a read or whatever, but safety backs up. This safety rolls down. DN drops. I mean, there's a lot going on with this play, and Austin Simmons just rips this ball. Here's the DN that dropped. You know, he's probably not great in coverage, but it's still a big-body athlete, and he rips it in there. And this is the safety that had rolled down. There's the corner. So right there, not just a huge window. Those that are around that DN, not sure how Lane Kiffin felt about this one, but still a huge throw and catch. This is on 3rd and 7, so another conversion. Caden Lee again coming up big with a big completion at a clutch time like he did multiple times in this game. But again, that was a heck of a throw, really gutsy on a 3rd and 7. Big play there. I mean, again, it's another one of those plays. It's basically a 4-point swing because it ends up leading to a touchdown there as well. And, of course, right here, this is a look at the touchdown for Austin Simmons and the drive that he was in. All they're doing is they're in a 3-back set. You got a tight end, you got a fullback or another running back here, and they're running inside zone to the right. So basically base there. We're going to try to double there up. He's down blocking probably with that tight end up to there. Fullback's working across the other back, and he's going to seal here. So not really much of a chance for a quarterback to run, but easy Henry. This is on the 1st and goal, so play right after that completion. And on this one, Jordan Watkins, for whatever reason, is trying to run split zone. I'd probably try to keep that guy out of there, especially if Trey Harris ain't healthy. But either way, he's going back here, just occupies, doesn't block anybody. He basically runs to the back of his own guy. That's kind of weird. But either way, right there, running back Ulysses Bentley. Looks like he's maybe healthy now. They get a body for a body. There's the guy that Watkins is probably supposed to be blocking instead of doing whatever that is. But anyway, he plays fast, runs through arm tackles. Bentley, again, play with momentum. This is what we thought we were going to see after last year. It looks like he's trying to get into form here. But either way, hey, bursting vertical, run through both safeties. falling to the end zone, and that was an unbelievable touchdown. Austin Simmons leading that drive. That was huge as far as momentum, allowing Ole Miss to get a little bit of belief in that building to continue to believe. This is in the first quarter. Georgia had already gotten a turnover and went down and scored. But what we didn't realize is that was the only touchdown that Georgia was going to have all day, which is unbelievable. Testament to the defense. So far, we've seen Ole Miss defense. We saw the passing game, basically from Jackson Dart, and then we looked at Austin Simmons' drive. That was really big, creating momentum. Now we're just going to look at a couple of run plays, a couple of things that Ole Miss did to be a little bit more efficient than Georgia was running the football. Right at 3rd and 1, one thing they did, obviously you got J.J. Pegues. This is one rush for 9 yards. This is on 3rd and 1. And right at Georgia, they're trying to condense this box. And Ole Miss, they got 2 tight ends. Everybody's just basically wedging down. He tries to work that inside gap. Great read here by the D tackle. I mean, right here just sliding outside that and getting vertical. Now you got corners, safeties trying to converge right here. Georgia's even trying to corner blitz this. For whatever reason, they're thinking that corner safety, whoever that guy is that's rolling in, is going to tackle this D tackle. But instead, he just dives surprisingly with just a shoulder. Really don't want to take on a D lineman for whatever reason. Don't believe it. But right there, makes a business decision. I'm not trying to take this guy head on. And right there, Pegues just rolling, getting a first down, playing with momentum. And, of course, just Ole Miss having the balls just to put their D tackle back at quarterback and doing it a lot. And, you know, it's one of those things that Lane Kiffin does a great job just using his personnel and finding a way to get bigger guys and guys that are really athletic in situations where they can be successful. Here's another look of just a play right here. Is Jackson Dart was the difference in this game. I mean, he's a better quarterback than Carson Beck all night, and a lot of it was his feet. Kind of kept the defense guessing instead of just sitting back there being a statue. But right on this one, man-to-man here from Georgia. They're bringing a pressure. It does get picked up. There's the back. He's releasing right there. He takes this only defender that's left to the weak side, and on that, Dart decides he's going to get out. And, of course, whenever you're playing a team that's man-to-man, hey, if they're not open, a lot of times you're open. That shot unnecessarily. Let's get down. That extra 2 yards really didn't do anything for us. But right there, takes a shot. Explosive play. Great job seeing that it's man-to-man and that he has the edge. They lost contain. Take what's there. Be a willing runner. That's what happens on this one. What I think was the difference all night. Another look right here. Of course, this is in the 4th quarter. Up 2 scores on Georgia. And, of course, 2nd and 10. We've got to stay on the field, let the clock roll. We're at 6 minutes right now. And Georgia, they're playing coverage. They're bringing 4. Great pro right here. Step out of bounds again. 2 yards earlier, and you don't take this shot. But, of course, that's Jackson Dart. That's what he's been doing his whole time at Ole Miss. He's just showing that toughness and being a football player. And right here, again, it's another huge play. Just one of those things, Jackson Dart was the difference, that he can move around in the pocket and he can get vertical and he can run. Obviously, the defense was huge. But whenever the defense knows that you're going to be a statue back there, that's really tough for an offense against a good pass rush. With all that being said, that was a huge night for Ole Miss, huge night for the program, and really expecting those guys to use this as a springboard and just continue to get better throughout the season. They're going to be a tough out if they get into that playoff. I don't know if they have a chance at the SEC title or not, but as far as their schedule that's left, you got a bye week, then they go to Florida, and then have Mississippi State at home. So it's not gimmies. Trust me on that. I understand Florida's beat up, and Mississippi State's getting better. They're just a young program, but should be favored by a couple scores in the last 2 games. So if they go 10-2, I'd say they're in the playoff. I don't think they got a chance to get to the SEC championship, but this is a huge win for their program and a huge win. Give them a chance for the playoff. But if you enjoyed that video and you're still here, click right here. This is a video they think that you're going to like. It really helps the channel. So again, watch this video, and we'll see you guys again in the next one.